Ladies and gentlemen, Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of AEW Dynamite Recap Show. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Of course, this week's Dynamite took place at the Total Mortgage Arena in Bridgeport. And I gotta be honest with you folks, this was not a bad show. I liked it. It had its quirks, as usual. You gotta understand they're a niche promotion. They have a niche audience, but uh, good little build-ups to the pay-per-view Full Gear, which is a week from Saturday or next. Is it next week? I think it's next week. I will be checking it out. But yeah, not a bad show whatsoever. Like I said, it has quirks, but we'll get into that. But before I get into it, if you like this or are entertained by this, click the thumbs up button. That lets me know you like it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this week's Dynamite. Or just simply say hello. And hey, if you're enjoying this little train wreck of a YouTube channel I'm doing here, click on that subscribe button. Be a champ. It is greatly appreciated. Now, with all that out of the way, let's let her rip. All right, first match of the night is a tag team match. Not sure why they call this a big rush match, but in the beginning, I really didn't. But the commentators kind of had to fill you in that it was the match that Jay White had with Christian Cage that kind of got him injured, so they, kind of filled in the blanks for us. But anyway, so it was a grudge match between Christian Cage and Adam Page, or Christian Cage, Adam Page teaming up against Jay White and Juice Robinson, two members of the Bang Bang Gang. Got a little back and forth action until Cage dropped the reverse DDT on knee on Juice Robinson. Dick Wayne interfered a little bit. He tried to interfere again, measuring Juice Robinson for another kick to the gut, but Hook snaps him in a red rom over the railing, so it clears him out of it, but you still have Kip Sabian in there and Mama Wayne in there, and they would become a factor in this match. White gets a tag in, cleans house. Juice gets back in, lost his footing a little bit, but Juice got settled back in, so Adam Page got to hit the super fall-away slam, or as Scott Hall would call it, the shit slam, except for on the middle rope. White hits the Blade Runner on Cage outside the ring, kind of takes both of them out. Mama Wayne distracts the ref as Saban nails Juice Robinson with a clipboard, followed by a dead eye from Adam Page, wins it for the team of Christian Cage and Adam Page. Not a bad match. Heels did what they supposed to do. Good cut-offs for Juice Robinson when he was reaching for the tag. She could have milked out a little bit more, I think, but all in all, not a bad match. Gotta give this one thumbs up. All right, next up we have a segment featuring Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay gets to the ring, asks Tony Schiavone if he wouldn't mind stepping aside while he has a little chat with Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher comes to the ring, comes along, but Will knew a little better. He's been in the Don Callis family before, so he's like, "Hey, why don't you empty your pocket?" And of course, he had the screwdriver in his back pocket. Will pretty much said let Kyle live with him and help him get his breaks. Kyle then came back and said, "Oh, you want to take credit for everything?" And Will Ospreay said, "Hey, what have you done besides anything in the Aussie Open?" So Kyle Fletcher kind of kicked back and said, "Hey, it's not what I've done; it's what I'm going to be." Anyway, Kyle does challenge Will at Full Gear. Brian Cage and Lance Archer comes in to back up Fletcher, but Ospreay said, "Hey, I got some backup myself." Mark Davies, and Powerhouse Hobbs comes in. This, of course, leads to a brawl, which also leads to Lance Archer versus Roderick Strong. Of course, if this is a Fall Count Anywhere match, if Roderick Strong wins this one, this will be the third one in a row, and he'll get to face MJF at Full Gear. So, like I said, Falls Count Anywhere match. Strong starts off with a kendo stick attack on Lance, but Lance got the most of the advantage of the match, big portion of the match as they fight in the crowd. As soon as Roderick starts getting the advantage, here comes Cage to interfere, but Matt Taven and Mike Bennett comes to the rescue. Lance Archer winds up choke slamming Taven into some security. Uh, but in the end, Roderick gets his third win with a knee strike. Uh, Takeshna winds up coming in, attacks Roderick Strong after he tells MJF that he will finish his ass. Of course, as he's attacking Roderick Strong, Adam Cole's music hits. And this brings us to uh, Takeshna, Takeshna, excuse me, versus Adam Cole. Of course, if Adam Cole wins this match, he will also be in that match with Roderick Strong versus MJF at Full Gear. So Cole comes in, clotheslines Takeshna out of the ring, so he can do this little entrance pose. Uh, Takeshna will actually take over on strikes. Cole comes back, gets cut off with a sit-down driver into a wheelbarrow suplex and a lariat for a 2 count. Cole comes back again, hits the Panama Sunrise, but Takeshna rolls out of the ring, grabs the diamond ring, which is just conveniently under the ring. Good for him, I guess. So lucky. Winds up nailing Adam Cole with it. 1, 2, 3. Takeshna wins. So Adam Cole is out of the match with MJF. So it's just going to be Roger Strong versus MJF. So that still should be a good one. Didn't really, I really wouldn't buying into the, uh, it's going to be a 3-way, blah, blah, blah. It would have sucked. Just don't, like I said before, they're supposed to be baby faces or heels. It's going to be 2 against 1. 2 baby faces against 1 heel. Um, Anyway, Takeshna was looking to put on more damage on Cole until Roger Strong makes a save, until he gets kicked in the elbows. Here comes Kyle O'Reilly to make the save with a chair, chases everybody out. Takeshna is on the ramp, or actually on the stage, when Ricochet comes in, gives him a kick, and holds up the AEW International title belt. Kyle shakes hands with Roger Strong, but not shaking hands with Cole for some reason. There's a quick interview backstage with Bobby Lashley. Of course, MVP grabs a microphone to tell you how to do this, but basically Bobby Lashley says he's going to hurt Swerve Strickland. And I guess this is the moment where the Death Riders, namely John Moxley, is going to seize control of WTBS, the Superstation, or Superstation TBS. We see JD Drake getting beat down by Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli with a chair. Out comes the Death Riders. Moxley gets on the mic, said he's going to make an example out of the calm, cool Orange Cassidy. Cue Orange Cassidy music. He comes in. He said, "Look, I believe everything you said, Johnny. This is what you want to do to me. You'll make an example of me. But the only way to win the AEW World Championship is to wrestle in the ring. And that's what he's going to do. He will wrestle and win the championship." As the Death Riders were leaving, Darby Allin dived on top of them from the stands, and a brawl broke out. Hey, we got another brawl here. Darby leaped back on the back of the truck as they were leaving, but Claudio gave Darby the big swing into the bay door. Pretty, let that hurt, but yeah, a lot of brawls on this, so it kind of reminds me of the good old studio wrestling a little bit this week. So yeah, being nice. This wasn't a bad show. I understand they got their niche wrestling, but I'll get to more of that later. Anyway, next match is the ladies' match with Britt Baker, DMD, going against Penelope Ford. Some good chain wrestling to begin things with a crucifix takedown or sit down crucifix for 2. This is what Baker does is really good. She's pretty good at that chain wrestling, ground type wrestling. Not really good at the fast paced trying to be lucha star. But Penelope would take over after she tripped Baker and swung around and nailed her with a forearm. Baker comes back with clotheslines and the sling blade. Not the prettiest looking sling blade, but this works pretty good for what Baker is good at. Uh, like I said, not too much going on there. Not trying to do any truly fast paced lucha stuff. Uh, there was like some kind of botch kick cutter. Anyway, that was kind of the blemish of the match right there. Penelope Ford got a 2 count from that. But then she misses a moonsault. Ford comes back again, locks in a Muda lock, but Britt Baker was able to wrestle out of that and apply the lockjaw for the win. Not a great match, not a pretty match, but this is the kind of match what Britt Baker was doing, the chain wrestling at the beginning and not really trying to do a lot of the lucha, fast paced, hit the rope type stuff. That doesn't fit her well. She's not really good at it, but the chain wrestling stuff, she, she's pretty good at that. Hopefully, for her sake, whoever uh, agent or produced this match, but hopefully she keeps that same agent and maybe get her more work in that style. All right. After that, we got Swerve Strickland versus Leo Rush. This one, a little scratch of the head. They had little fake outs here and there, like flipping around and blocking each other, flip counters and stuff like that. Leo will rake the eyes outside of the ring, but Swerve runs Leo into the apron. Then Leo would, for some reason, do a handstand. Yeah, handstand and shake the ropes instead of just walking over there and shaking the ropes with his hands. Guess it didn't look, you know, the uh, the handstand would look, the handspring was prettier. Who knows? Anyway, that makes Swerve fall off the ropes, crotches himself, and falls out to the floor. Uh, Strickland will make a comeback, but it's cut off again when Leo hits the Spanish Fly. Rush will go for another reverse hurricanrana, but Swerve counter with a big pressure for the win. Now, I do understand the psychology of giving your opponent some. Sometimes there's things called giving your opponent a little too much. This is kind of my complaint with the Shelton Benjamin match against Leo Rush, and my complaint right here with Swerve's match with Leo Rush. I get it, y'all boys, stuff like that, but do not have to give him way too much and uh, get the pin, when he controlled most of the match. That's neither here or there. So anyway, after the match, Swerve calls out Bobby Lashley. MVP and Lashley comes out. MVP said they really want Swerve, but now it's time for them to teach him a lesson about the strength in numbers. That's when Shelton Benjamin attacks Swerve from behind. They beat him down, make Strickland. Then Bobby Lashley applied the full Nelson hurt lock onto Swerve Strickland, making him pass out. All right. Then we had I forgot the visuals on this too, but um, after this match, we did hear from Jamie Hayter. She's talking about trying to do the right thing or make it making all the things right. Blah blah blah. All of a sudden, the lights go out, and we get a vignette about Julie Hart. And of course, this brings us to now. It is main event time. It is FTR going against the Kings of the Black Throne, which is Brody King and Malachi Black. Another good match here. Brody King and Dax started things out. Little trade of chops. Really, one chop from Dax, one chop from Brody that knocked Dax on his ass. So in the beginning, the Kings of the Black Throne had the advantage until FTR used some classic Arn Tully miscommunication to take over on Malachi Black. Malachi gets a hot tag to Brody King. He takes over, pretty much throwing both FTR members around. They would exchange a bunch of near falls. Then it's the Goodnight Irene Sleeper Hole from Brody King on Dax Harwood that wins it for the Kings of Black. And they all shake hands at the end. So now this is for a slot in the four-way match for the AEW Tag Team titles at Full Gear. The uh, Outrunners, what they're called, got the name. Pretty entertaining tag team. They're in it, and now the Kings of the Black Throne also. But like I said, this was not a bad pay per view whatsoever, or a bad episode of um, Dynamite whatsoever. I kind of enjoyed it. Wasn't bad. Like I said, it had its moments, and I pointed them out. But all in all, it's almost got me looking forward to what's more going to come out to uh, the Death Riders angle. What's that going to be? And I'm going to save all the prediction stuff for next week's Spot Show live stream. But like I said, not a bad show. I give this one a thumbs up. Anyway, that does it for me today. Folks, have a good one. Take it easy. And until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Thank you for checking out our P2 Vision. Subscribe to our P2 Vision to watch Ronald Ray's content that covers the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. His weekly content starts off with Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Ronald Ray asks 5 questions about the sport of professional wrestling. So tune in and have some fun. Then it's WWE Monday Night Raw Recaps, where he recaps all the action from the Raw brand. Ronald Ray also does an AEW Dynamite Recap show where he recaps and has fun doing it. Do you like live streams? Well, join Ronald Ray live on Spot Show Livestream, where he discusses current wrestling. Join the chat and have fun. Spot Show Livestream is on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. If current pro wrestling isn't your thing, like all wrestling past and present, or you're a new fan and want to hear how things were back in the day, then tune in to Wrestling Gold Friday night, where Ronald Ray discusses back in the day when wrestling was wrestling, featuring watch-alongs. That's Wrestling Gold Friday night on Fridays starting at 8 p.m.